Hey, 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 how we doing? Hey, Nicole, how are you? How's it going? How is it happening for you today, my dear? Sorry I haven't been able to talk to you. I slept in like a little, you know, I don't know. I got up at one point because my cats were being crazy, but I was like, forget this, I'm going back to bed. And well, the whole day's gone. Um, so yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't even know. Hey, Annabelle. Hi, nice to see you. Nice to see you. You slept in too? Yeah. Ugh, it's crazy. I mean, my weather is not very good. It's very gloomy, and I felt like I could have slept forever. I felt like this day just, I didn't need to have this day. It just was a whole sleep day. But I was like, I need to get up. I got a stream I got to do. So here we are. Because this is really an interesting case. Because you've got her family saying that she was definitely in this tractor trailer accident, right? They're positive of it. They're positive. And they want proof of her body being in the wreck. They will not stop until they get proof of it. But you have um, the police department saying that there is no evidence of it. Hey, Jeffrey. Hi, how are you? And long time no talk. Um, and you have the police department saying that there's no proof at all. So let me show you guys some of the stuff because we got a lot to go through, right? I don't know if I can get through all of this. We might just have to not show everything, or it just might have to be a two-part. I don't know. We'll have to see. So this one is from CBS 17. And it was the 26th, but then it got updated. The article part, I believe, got updated on 27th, and today's 28th. So it gives you a couple of days here of information that is behind. And then we got more videos, and you'll get an idea of what's going on. And then we've got videos from the family where they're actually at the scene, and you could see you can actually see the tractor trailer and like up close, right? You'll see the whole thing, the final, what it looked like, right? So you're gonna really get to see it.
For help finding a missing mother. Good evening. I'm Angela Taylor.
I'm Rod Carter. Thanks so much for joining us. Alyssa Taylor's family believes that she may have died in a fiery crash on Interstate 85 that killed a man and a dog back in September. It was on the September 14th. However, investigators have yet to find her.
CBS 17's Brea Hollingsworth is live in Hillsboro, where she just spoke with the family. Brea.
Rod, Angela, I was with
I might have to refresh it because it's been there.
Hillsboro
Oh,
Fire
okay.
Department who responded to the crash. Investigators have been telling us and them that there is no evidence that points to Taylor being inside the truck at the time of the crash, but the family believes otherwise. A call for help in finding missing mother from Virginia, Alyssa Taylor.
I just want answers and I want closure, and so I can bury my baby.
Alyssa Taylor's mom, Krista, says she hasn't seen her daughter since September 13th. It's the longest she's ever gone without talking to her.
Texts me every day, like if I'm not around her, and I kept calling her. Her phone's been off ever since the 13th, and I just haven't heard from her. It's not like my baby. She knows I worry about her, and I think she would have contacted me by now.
Her mom says on September 13th, Taylor took a trip with truck driver Daniel McNeil from Virginia to North Carolina. On September 14th, investigators found his tractor trailer after it crashed into the NC-86 bridge on I-85 in Orange County. McNeil's body was found along with his dog. As far as Taylor, she was nowhere to be found.
We know she was in that truck. Without a doubt, we know she was in that truck.
Investigators say no evidence has turned up to indicate Taylor was with McNeil at the time of the crash. Her family questions that, pointing out a shoe and a blanket they say belongs to her was found in the wreckage.
We all want to go back home and mourn. I can't even mourn my child. And I'm saying, trying to find stuff out, you know. I just want to mourn and go home and mourn my child. That's all.
And the family did tell me that they pinged Taylor's cell phone, which was last seen in an area near Henderson. They are asking anyone who may have information about the crash or may have seen it to contact the North Carolina Highway Patrol. In Hillsborough, Brea Hollingsworth, CBS 17 News.
Is asking for help find.
Okay, so that was the one article. I'll take you, or video, so I'll take you to another one, okay? And let me refresh it. And that way, hopefully there aren't any pausing issues. Hello to everybody that's joining. How are you? Okay, so you see that's the two things that they found, right, of hers.
Be a major piece to the puzzle.
Oh,
the 25-year-old's
hold on a second.
disappearance.
Let me
We
refresh
first
it
reported this story
again
last
because
night.
it's trying to play
Turn on
without
your
us.
side.
We've got to play it right away, apparently. It does its own thing all by itself. Here we go. Let's see if we can catch it.
Street surrounding the search for a missing woman from Accomack County. Alyssa Taylor was last heard from on September 13th, but a fiery crash hundreds of miles away may be a major piece to the puzzle to the 25-year-old's disappearance. We first reported this story last night. 10 on your side's John Dowding is following up with it tonight. John?
Yeah, so Stephanie, family members believe Alyssa died in a fiery crash while riding in a truck with a friend. But investigators say there are no signs Alyssa was in the truck. Family members who are in North Carolina investigating on their own as we speak just want some kind of closure.
We just want to know for sure, what happened to her.
Shelly Payton had a special relationship with her niece, Alyssa.
Alyssa was the very first baby that I ever actually held in my arms. She was, so she's 25 years old. We were actually raised more like sisters. So when she was born, I was fairly young.
For almost 2 weeks, neither Shelly nor Alyssa's mom, Krista, have heard from Alyssa. The last they heard from her was in a text message to her mom on September 13th. Family says that she was traveling in a tractor trailer with a friend of hers, Danny McNeil. They think they may have an idea of what happened to her, but Shelly says they feel broken knowing no one will confirm their suspicions about what happened to Alyssa.
We're broken. We're broken. It's hard enough to lose a family member in an accident, but to actually have people telling you she wasn't in that accident.
The accident happened on I-85, hundreds of miles away in Hillsborough, North Carolina. Family members say Alyssa was with McNeil when he crashed into a bridge on September 14th. The truck overturned and caught fire. McNeil's remains were discovered by investigators. North Carolina State Highway Patrol and Orange County sheriffs say there was no sign of Alyssa in the wreckage, but a shocking discovery by Alyssa's mom told them otherwise.
She saw Alyssa's blanket like mangled up in all of the wreckage. So she called me screaming and crying and telling me, that it's her blanket. It's her blanket.
The family also found a flip-flop matching Alyssa's size in the wreckage. The Accomack County Sheriff's Office says Alyssa's cell phone pinged along the same GPS locations as McNeil's truck. Alyssa's phone has had no further activity since the date and time of the crash. Family members say they just want answers.
Do something. Help us prove that she was in that truck so we can begin to mourn her so that we know what happened to her. That's all we want.
If you know anything that can help authorities find Alyssa, call the Accomack County Sheriff's Office. That number is 757-787-1131. We also have more info and that number on wavy.com. I'm John Dowding, 10 on your side.
Yeah, right? So this article, family of a missing woman from Eastern Shore says that they know what happened to her.
Mystery.
But investigators say the evidence doesn't substantiate the family's suspicion. Family members of 25-year-old Alyssa Taylor report her missing to the Accomack County Sheriff Office on September 20th, a week after her mother last received a message from her. And this is her missing poster. She's 5'5", 200 pounds, green eyes, brown hair, 25 years old. Taylor's family believes that she died in a fiery truck accident in Hillsborough, North Carolina. Investigators from multiple North Carolina agencies say there are no signs that she was in the truck at the time of the accident. But I'll explain to you why, right? I'll explain further. Family members who are in North Carolina investigating on their own just want some kind of closure. Shelly Payton, Taylor's aunt, says that they just want answers. Quote, "We just want to know for sure We knew what happened to her, she said. Peyton says that she had a special relationship with her niece, Alyssa. Alyssa was the first baby that I was ever actually held in my hands, in my arms, she said. We were actually raised more like sisters. So when she was born, I was fairly young. And for almost 2 weeks, neither Peyton nor Taylor's mom, Krista, have heard from her. The last text Taylor's mom received from her was that she was riding with Danny in a tractor trailer for 2 days. Family members believe that Danny is Danny McNeil, who they say Taylor was friends with. And here's the text. It says, I'm riding with Danny in a tractor trailer for 2 days, and I'll call and ask him. And that was September 13th at 1:15 p.m. And then September 13th at 3 says, okay, love you, even though you get on my blank nerves. Love you too. September 14th at 12:50 p.m. Did you get your clothes? And then Saturday at 3:18, you can't see it. Peyton says that she feels broken knowing that her and her family's suspicion about what happened remain unconfirmed. Quote, it's hard enough to lose a family member in an accident, but now you have people telling you that she actually wasn't in that accident, she said. The accident happened on I-85 when McNeil crashed into a bridge on September 14th. The truck overturned and caught fire. Investigators say McNeil was pronounced dead at the scene and his remains were recovered by investigators. In a statement to 10, On Your Side, sister station, CBS 17 in Raleigh, North Carolina, State Highway Patrol said their report concluded McNeil was the sole driver of the vehicle at the time of the accident. I'm just like throwing words in. It says, quote, the investigation indicates the driver was the sole occupant of this single vehicle collision. If you are looking for information related to a missing person story, which is currently circulating online, we would direct you to the authorities in Virginia who are handling this case. We have spoken with the missing person's family and have spent much time in trying to answer questions they have related to our collision investigation. This is understandably a difficult time for the family, and we will continue to assist them as needed. First Sergeant Christopher D. Knox of North Carolina State Highway Patrol. The Orange County Sheriff Office also says that there was no evidence that Taylor was still with him at the time of the crash, saying, quote, we are aware of it, and I feel awful for the family. The Highway Patrol investigated the crash. Further efforts to see if anything was overlooked at the scene have turned up no evidence that she was still with him at the time of the wreck. The Accomack County Sheriff Office in Virginia is in charge of the missing person case. And that was Alicia Stemper, Orange County Sheriff Office. A shocking discovery by Taylor's mom made the family believe otherwise. Quote, she saw Alyssa's blanket, like mangled up in all the wreckage, says Peyton. So she called me screaming and crying and telling me that, it's her blanket, it's her blanket. The family also found what they said is an old Navy flip flop matching Taylor's size in the wreckage. The Accomack County Sheriff Office says that Taylor's cell phone pinged along the same GPS locations as McNeil's truck. Taylor's phone had had no further activity since the date and time of the crash. Quote, an officer with the Exmoor Police Department did have an interaction with an occupant of the vehicle that was involved in the crash. The occupant identified the now deceased male as the driver. The body camera footage does not capture an image of the occupant, but 3 separate members of the family have identified the occupant talking with the officer's voice as Alyssa, or as Alyssa's. Sergeant Kugler requested cellular information on a number that was provided by the family as belonging to Alyssa. Through that information, we are able to see a ping in the Accomack County area consistent with the date, time, and location where Alyssa was picked up from. We compared that information with GPS location from the deceased male's truck and showed the truck pinging in the same area as Alyssa's phone. We later found another ping from Alyssa's cellular device and it says on hour, I think it's supposed to say 1 hour from the crash location. The deceased male's truck pinged in that same location as well. Alyssa's phone has no further activity since the date and time of the crash. We have checked multiple CCTV recordings on the route that the deceased male truck traveled. Through those recordings, we are only able to see the deceased male exiting and entering the truck. Sergeant Joshua Marsh, Accomack County Sheriff Office. That's where it really is the go-getter. That's the go-getter right there, you guys. That's the one that finally is like the heh. Like, you're like, what? The phone is pinging with the truck. Obviously, she's with him. The phone is pinging with the truck. She's with him. The phone's pinging with the truck. She's with him. But then, as soon as it says that they have looked at all the CCTV and that only he is getting in and out of the truck, it's like, wait a minute. What? So it continues on to say, hey, Johnny, how are you? Nice to see you. So it continues on to say, with more questions continuing to surface, family members say they just want some answers. Do something. Help us prove that she was in that truck so we can begin to mourn, so that we know what happened to her. That's all we want, says Peyton. We just want to know for sure what happened to her. We can't stop, and we're not going to stop. That's one thing my family and we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop until we get the answers we're looking for. You guys, I mean, that's kind of the issue that's, yeah, the answers they're looking for, not that it sounds good to say this, that a family is looking for the answer that their child or loved one was killed in a wreck, but that is the answer they're looking for, right? Why else has she not contacted them in this time frame? They believe that she was in the wreck, right? And so they want that answer because right now they're stuck in that limbo phase. So it may sound weird that they're pushing so hard for this. Like, why are they pushing so hard to hear that their loved one is dead? Like, it sounds weird, but it's because they're stuck in that limbo and they want that final, like, oh, at least they know, right? As opposed to her being a missing person, or as opposed to maybe thinking even worse, which so far they have not accused. They haven't accused that he did something to her prior to the wreck, right? They have not accused that at all. There's actually something on their social media that we'll get to, where they say they haven't spoken poorly of him. But anyway, it continues at the very end to just say that Taylor has 2 young children who are also waiting for news of her whereabouts. If you know anything that could help authorities find Taylor, call the Accomack County Sheriff Office at 757-787-1131. Yeah. What Nicole makes the most sense. What did Nicole say? Oh, I missed it. I missed it. So the phone could have been in a truck, but he could have possibly allegedly dumped her somewhere. Right, exactly. Hey, Neil, how are you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Neil. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having a good day. Okay, so let's move. We'll move on. We will move on. So we'll stop there. I'll take you to the social media. Hold on a second. I gotta exit some of this stuff off my screen. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. You never can tell, right? Okay. So let me bring you over to one social media here. Okay. So the one I was telling you about was this one. And it says, to the family of Danny, first off, I don't know him, but I have heard nothing but good things thus far about him. So as to the picture used, we had no clue who the girl was. So if this was one of him and his daughter, to his daughter, I'm sorry for your loss, and my prayers are with you, hun. No one should have to mourn a parent. It's heartbreaking. I can't imagine your pain, and my heart is with you as I've never been closer to feeling someone's pain, being here personally and seeing what he went through, right? So they posted something, right? And it was a picture that had him and his daughter, I suppose, in it, right? And I guess his family was not happy about that. And then it says, to the friends and family of Danny, the picture was on his social media, so it was used, but our intent was never to disrespect anyone. It was to cover her story because we need answers. When Penny put all that out, we were privately messaged by the family. It was voiced that they never wanted things put out through social media. They wanted stuff brought to us privately. So why do things keep being broadcast through social media again to the family? We mean nothing but respect to the family, and they are welcome to privately message if something offends them, as it certainly not our intent. We have to broadcast as much as we can because we want help from officials that should be doing their job and have thus far been caught in more lies than the truth. And we need assistance finding Alyssa. She's still missing, and there are no efforts here by police to really physically search for her. And we want no stone unturned, as anyone with a missing loved one should. I'm sorry you're in pain, but as stated by multiple people, there are better ways to handle things, as we have done nothing but stated from day one. We mean don't no disrespect. If roles were reversed, we would be nothing but understanding, as one side has answers and the other doesn't. She is loved so much more than words can express, and we can't accept anything without some kind of peace of knowing what actually happened. No one was there but her and Danny. No one knows what truly happened that night. From my understanding, he was a trucker for years. I want you all to have answers as to why this happened as well. But we could have a bigger impact working together. I'm truly sorry if you all feel differently. Right? um and then people said, like, do what you have to do to find closure. It's a missing loved one. Feelings get hurt. People may get peed off. You can't please everyone. You do what you got to do to get answers for Alyssa, right? Um, Terrible what you're being put through at this time. This is them putting out messages. I will refresh this to see what else she has added onto hers, because I didn't refresh it before. So let's refresh it now. Nope. That's the most recent one that she had, right? To Danny. No, to the family of Danny. First off, I don't know him, but I've heard nothing but good things thus far about him, right? So they okay, so what they're thinking, I'll tell you. And let me bring you over to the other social media, right? This is where there's going to be quite a bit. Huh? You are now connected on Messenger? Who is this? What is going on right now? I'm now connected on Messenger to somebody that I didn't connect with. I didn't connect with this person. Who is this? What is going on? I don't know. You got me, man. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, it looks like they maybe called me or something. I don't know. I have no idea. Guess I'll figure that out later, right, you guys? But anyway, let me bring you guys over to this one. So what they're thinking is, ready? This is graphic. So before I even say it, I want to hang on a second. Having trouble loading this one. I wonder what this one was. That they aren't playing. That one's not there anymore. Interesting. I don't know if they're all there now, but we'll look at what we have. We'll look at what we've got. I don't know. It looks like some of them might not be there now. Okay, this is back at the beginning-ish, I think. Because of that one, yeah. All right. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're all there now. All right, but let me show you. Trigger warning first, but they think that, as I put this up, okay, they think she passed away in the wreck, right? Why hasn't she been found in the wreck? Because he was hauling chicken. There was a fire, a big fire, right? 2 explosions happened because there were 2 fuel tanks, I believe is how they worded it, were on the side of the truck, near where Alyssa would have been. Therefore, when they blew up, they believe she possibly did not stay in one piece. It was nighttime, and there were chicken that were all over the road or the side of the road. They cleaned up the wreckage, the chicken, right? The debris, scooped it, and tossed it to send it to the landfill. They believe possibly that she was in multiple pieces and got missed and got assumed to be the chicken, and that she is in the landfill, right? So there's no other way to say it. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry, you guys. I apologize. I know there's no other way to say it. Hi, Intuitive. Hello, nice to see you. Nice to see you. I'm finally able to actually look over here now. I'm not scrolling through stuff. I'm sorry. There was no other way to say it. But so that's their theory. That's the family's thought, and that's why they don't want to back down on police. That is why they are like, no, she was in the wreck. She was in this wreck. She was. And you guys need to tell me that she was in it. You guys need to say, yes, she was in that wreck. You guys need to do DNA testing on the road, on the wreckage area. You guys need to go to the landfill and you need to find her in the landfill, right? Like they want these kinds of things done to prove that she was in that wreck. Because they feel even though Danny was still in one piece, right? Man, it's so hard to talk about. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys. They don't feel she was because of where she was located. And I'll show you. Hopefully, the video isn't gone. Hopefully, this is her outside.
So
This doesn't. This is her outside of it. I hope.
this is the wreckage.
Yeah. Okay. This is her showing the tractor trailer, you guys. It's insane. What's left of it, or not? Like not left of it.
Can you flip it back over for me? I don't want to.
Everybody's just old baby flip flops. I got a lot more at home too. I bought them all at the same time. I got like white ones, I got blue ones, black ones, all different color ones.
Okay. So there is the tractor trailer. It's starting to get more in focus a little bit. If she's, So this is the front of the tractor trailer, and she'll explain it as she goes around. But this is the front of the tractor, right?
Oh. So this is
and then there's the seat area that he was sitting in, and then behind that was the area that Alyssa was in. Alyssa was not up in the seat, they don't believe. They believe at that time of night, Alyssa would have been back sleeping. That's why they think that Alyssa was in a different area. You're joking? That kind of stuff has to be seen and talked about to be good investigators. It's true, Johnny. I know it. Hey, Dog Defender. They have the black box of this tractor trailer. Yes, Dog Defender, they do. Yep, they do. And it shows that her cell phone pinged at the same location as this tractor trailer was at. And the it showed that her last ping was an hour away, and he was traveling 77 miles an hour. So, like, it makes sense that he would have made it to where he did, and her phone wouldn't have got the ping again yet. Yes, Annabelle. Yep. That she was in the back. Yep. Okay, let me play it. It's a really pretty, lengthy. I could just talk. So there's the front, but that's only one side of it, right? The other side's smashed.
Okay.
So bad. Such a bad
That's all
wreck.
that's left of the truck. This is the blanket that was identified.
Do you see how it's melted in now? See how the blanket is melted in with all of this? Right? And then you've got this part of it that hangs down. It's crazy to me that so much would be burned and melted and destroyed, and then you've got this that's still visible and still it's wow. I mean,
as Alyssa's blanket.
it's crazy how things like that happen.
This is the area right here where the cab would have been. This would have been the area where Alyssa would have been laying. We have found her flip-flop. I'm going to go back around to it again. Yeah, so would they be able to, should this be something that we should go ahead and get? Could we get this bagged up or something for another, like, piece together maybe?
So
I wonder,
bagged up so that they can hold on to it.
I wonder if we could, yeah. So I almost wonder if her blanket up here, like if we could, yeah, yeah. So we wanted, so
Okay,
we
Dog
definitely,
Defender.
yeah, we won't that way. Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe let him know where we with the flip flop and all. Oh. Oh. Yeah, and that's what she always was wearing, was these flip flops. But this is another view of the cab area. Let's see. So that's the back of the truck over here. And then going towards that's the front of the truck over here. Now I'm just gonna go back down.
Isn't that
And show
crazy?
y'all that the flip flop, and then I'm gonna go back over here to the side just one more time so everybody can see the blanket. We are currently being told by Sergeant Mitchell Mann that CSI came out and they said there's nothing left here to go through. Of course, the truck did explode. The truck did reach over 3,000 degrees in temperature.
He said they brought everything from the truck back. So we need
So everything from the wreckage site is out here. I'm gonna go over to the back of the truck, the actual trailer of the truck. We do plan on talking to EMS today, the first responders. So this is the tractor trailer itself here. So that's the end of it. So that is what's left of the tractor trailer. Everything, as y'all can imagine, Chris is not doing good. Sabrina did spot her flip-flop in the wreckage.
Our mother knows because it was last mine.
There were actually a pair of flip-flops that Krista had given to Alyssa. So I'm just trying to get in close and kind of looking through. We're not allowed to touch anything because everything's considered to be evidence, but we are out here looking. As you all can imagine, that I'm trying to keep myself together currently. But I would do whatever it takes to figure out what exactly happened to Alyssa. So we would definitely keep investigating. I'm just kind of going underneath here and just showing, the debris that we of course are being told that none of this can be going through by the CSI of North Carolina. No, so again, I'm going to show y'all the blanket for the families and everyone saying that Alyssa was not in the truck. This is her blanket. This is the blanket that Alyssa went everywhere with. This is the blanket that she traveled everywhere with. I am now. So what now, because I'm going to tag you in all of it. This is like I said, this is it. But again, I'm just going to back up one more time for everybody just to see. You can go towards this part. That's towards the back of the truck. This area here, the metal part, this here is where the cab would have been. If Alyssa was in this truck, as we know she would have been in this part here. This part that is nothing left of it. And we are being told by North Carolina. So I'm just going to flip back around for it so I can know. So we're being told by North Carolina there's nothing they can do as far as coming out and examining what is left here. Examining and going through everything to prove that she was in this truck. Alyssa's last cell phone ping was not even an hour from this crash site. There was text messages that Danny's family hid from us stating that he picked her up the day before the crash. And again, I'm calling Danny's family out on this, that you need to go to the police department. You need to contact the police department. You need to let them know you had text messages that showed Danny picked my niece up the day before the wreck. There was text messages that stated he was pulling down the road to pick her up. A female's voice was heard talking the night of the crash. Danny was pulled over in Exmoor. Video footage on the cop's body cam showed Alyssa in Danny's vehicle. Myself, Sabrina, Krista, we went there. We listened to the video. We know it was Alyssa's voice. We heard Alyssa's voice. Again, we need everyone's help to try to push people to prove that she was in this crash. There's no closure until we prove that she was in this crash. I'm going to flip back around to the truck again just for everybody that's coming on now. And I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back through it. So just to show y'all what's left of the crash, for people saying how a body couldn't have been pulled or a body could have been in there, her body couldn't have been in there. This is the truck. This is what's left of the truck. So any of you experts that want to explain to me how, if they did not know she was in the back of this truck, how would anybody survive this? How would a body survive this? Again, I'm going to go back to this area again. That's the area where the cab was. Alyssa's flip-flop on the wreckage. I'm going to go back over to the side again. I'm going to go back over here to the side, and I'm going to show everybody just coming on that the blanket my sister stopped here and saw on Tuesday, the blanket that she stopped and told everybody was on the wreckage. A mother knows her child's things. A mother feels things. My sister knew this. This is Alyssa's blanket. Alyssa went everywhere with this blanket. Y'all see this? So whether or not, so not done to fully bring religion into this, or if it's a sign from Alyssa or her mother, out of everything left in this wreckage, there's a pink blanket that is managed into all this mess that I'm showing you guys. So we know this was a sign that our baby was in this accident. So that's why we need everybody to keep pushing, keep tagging the news stations, keep sharing Alyssa's picture. It has to be proven. I'm calling out Moore's Company, the release of the video footage from the accident. I'm calling them out to release their geotags, his login book. I'm calling it all out. Again, I'm calling Danny's family out. You knew my niece was in that truck. You knew there was text messages that he picked her up today. I hope you all pay for us waiting this long. This wreckage has been out in the heat for over a week. If anything was left in here, if we'd known this a week ago, there could have been a better possibility. There could have been a possibility that we could have found something else. I'm just gonna flip back around again. And I'm just gonna go back.
I see what you guys are
Back to show
saying.
y'all again. This is what left. This is what's left. This is what left.
That possibly.
And to also know that what was swept off the highway, we were told went to the landfill. So the debris that they swept off the wreckage went to the landfill. Just kind of FYI on that. Please, please, everyone, just keep tagging those news stations. Alyssa's story, it deserves to be heard. We deserve to know what happened to her. Please, please, tag anyone you can. Tag the governor of North Carolina. My sister, I'm gonna flip it around. So Kristen wants to say something. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video. We're going to continue to keep looking out here. We're waiting on the detective that is helping us today. He is getting ready to collect the flip-flop and the blanket and put it both in the evidence bag. We do plan on going to the fire department today, the first responders that went out there. I'm not leaving until I speak to whoever claims they dug in that truck and claims that nobody else was in that truck. Please, please just keep sharing my niece's picture. Please, please keep contacting these news stations. Please, we could use everyone's help. Just please, 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 just keep sharing her until the truth comes out. Thank you all.
Okay. Right. So I see what you guys are saying, that possibly him taking the wreck was in response to possibly he had done something terrible to her, right? And then was disposed of her, and then was thinking on it and couldn't live with himself, right? Didn't want to get caught, and he unalived himself. I see what you guys are saying there. I'm wondering if that's what the police are wondering. right? If that's what they're thinking. This was the video we just watched. This one's now working, or it was a second ago, or it's thinking about it. Probably won't play because it should have already been up by now. Let's see. I don't know why this one isn't. I don't know. Here's another one here.
That the crash happened, I'm going to flip my camera around and show everybody the overpass here. So that's the overpass. It's actually still shut down. Right, just see how badly burnt the overpass is. So we're on I-85.
Yeah, right, Annabelle. It was trying.
This is the area that they said they combed through.
For anybody that just joined, this is the area that the wreck happened.
So I'm going to try to get a little bit closer up. We are on a busy interstate here. No. This is the area right here where the truck had flipped underneath of. Oh.
Wow.
So underneath the bridge, as everybody can see, oh, I can't rotate my phone. It's still burnt.
Wow.
The bridge is still burnt. Oh. Of course, you can see flies down here in the grass, and there's actually I don't know if you can see it. If you can actually see all this area through here, there's maggots all throughout here. Of course, he was carrying chickens at the time, but we were told that they had came through and combed through the area. So, yeah, they said they came through and combed through this area. Like I said, the whole area is filled. You can smell the dead chickens and everything underneath here.
Yuck.
But if this area was combed through, they look for a possible bone fragment. I don't understand why all this stuff is still here. All this is underneath the truck. Underneath the overpass. Like I said, we're told several times, that they combed through this area. That area got combed through. No.
Is it making you dizzy? Oh, okay. She lifted it up.
I'm sorry if y'all can hardly hear me, but we are out here on the interstate where the accident happened. And like I said, just kind of looking through here, looking through the area. The detective, Mitchell Mann here in South Carolina, told us that they combed through the area. Well, the area I'm staying in is underneath the overpass. In which, like I said, they told me that they had sent a crew back out here and combed through this area. Well, I'm sure everybody's seeing that everything I'm showing you on the ground here. Like I said, all this is still, this is what's underneath the bridge. I mean, you can smell the smell of, I'm assuming, the chickens, the bird, where he was carrying chickens. I do see maggots. There's flies flying around everywhere. There's a pile of debris right here that I'm assuming some of that could have came off the side here where he struck right there. If you see right here, that's another area that he struck. Again, all that debris down here. Up top here, kind of showing everybody that, you know, see what's burnt up there. And some more of the area that's burnt up. All this. I'm going to try to get up top here. Hopefully I don't bust my butt. I'm trying to get up top here just so y'all can see. Maybe I can show y'all downward looking. So this all down here, all that area down there, we were told all this area was combed through. So no, I'm not a detective, but at the same time, if Alyssa's still missing and we're presuming that she could have been in this accident, and the detectives are telling us that they came out here and they combed the area. They sent a crew out here, combed the area. Mitchell Mann's exact words that he told us. He came out here and went through this area with a fine-tooth comb, he said, and he was 99.9% sure Alyssa wasn't in there. Well, if you're sure she wasn't in there, the truck had flipped over underneath this overpass, It was engulfed in the flames. It exploded before they had gotten here. They used the jaws of life to get Danny out. So how much looking into this did they actually do? And I'm just going to flip back again. Sabrina and Krista both are down here. We're looking through what's left out here because, again, I'm telling y'all, there's maggots out there. There's flies out here. There's so much stuff. There's so much debris left out here underneath this overpass. So I'm going to attempt to try to get on top of this hill up here without busting my behind. Sabrina, come here, grab my hand. Shit, hold on. Where? Right here? Right by your knee. I'm not sure. Yeah, but there's pieces everywhere. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff up top here. Looking. That's actually pieces of a chicken. Look, pieces of a chicken. All this, little bits and pieces of chicken. That's, I'm assuming, metal from the truck. Burn up stuff. All this. Burn up debris. Again, underneath here, pieces of chicken. know if y'all can quite see it. There's maggots in some spots. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, chicken packs. Yeah, so just kind of walking back underneath the overpass again. Sorry it's loud. We are out here on the interstate. But yeah, like I said, yeah, the smell's horrible underneath here. You can tell where all the chickens and everything were out here. I know. If I had gloves, I'll be digging through it. Yeah, so I mean, we are finding like pieces of bones and stuff, but he was carrying a truck of chickens. But we're being told by investigators. Well, let me rephrase it. We're being told by Detective Mitchell Mann of North Carolina Highway Patrol that this area was combed through. But I'm not sure how this area was combed through when we're still out here finding bits and pieces.
All that stuff goes good deep too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's pieces of metal right through here where we're looking at. There's, yeah. So some areas we can actually see, that it's actually pieces like the chicken bone pieces right through here. That's another spot. Maggots crawling. This area here is pretty thick. See, I wish I could I don't know if y'all can actually see and pinpoint the flies and maggots, but I'm just going to hold it up for y'all to see. I'm sure you know that that's a drumstick there, so that's a piece of chicken right there. So, and I'm gonna try to zoom in. If you see the maggots, there's maggots everywhere out here. He was carrying chickens, of course, but if we were told they went through this area so well that they came out here and they're telling us 99.9% sure that my niece wasn't in this truck. Well, the truck is destroyed. The truck is gone. Only thing that is left is ashes and then ashes and pieces of metal. So it isn't making sense. We need somebody to help. I mean, we need somebody to keep investigating. I mean, we definitely feel it too that something just isn't right. I mean, Chris has said it the whole while. I'm gonna zoom in on this. So this is, yeah. So a drainage going underneath here, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's stuff in the drain. Up top there's pieces of chicken. Yeah, it's pieces of chicken and stuff everywhere, but it's still debris here. So I don't understand how they're telling us that they came out here and they looked. And they looked. But how did they look? And there's still so much stuff out here. I mean, you can see up on the hill, the pieces of the chicken feathers, they're everywhere. So, and just to answer the question that people were asking earlier about the metal in the back of the truck at the wrecking company, that was actually a lot of the guardrail. So he had ran off the road a few miles back, so he took a lot of the guardrail with him. So that was majority of what was in the back of the truck. So it isn't looking good. We were told locally by someone here that the Detective Mitchell man wasn't having time to see us today because he's at a town football game. So our niece is missing and could possibly been in this accident, but he's at a town football game enjoying himself. We drove 6 hours here last night to come out here and investigate ourselves. Local highway patrol in North Carolina couldn't sit down and speak with us this morning because he was too busy apparently at a football game. The fire department has told us that they would speak to us, so that is actually our next stop. We're waiting on them to get back up with us, so we're trying to actually talk to some of the crew that was here the night of the accident. The wrecking company that came out here that night, said that when they got here, the truck was flipped upside down. So the front part, including the cab, that was flipped upside down underneath this overpass here. So the truck was fully engulfed at that time. So the wrecking company actually had to flip the truck over. So when they flipped the truck over is when, on one of my other videos I posted earlier, you can hear him describe this, he saw hair. So when he saw hair, that's when they had to take the jaws of life and pry open the passenger side of the door and pull out Danny. When they pulled out Danny, his dog then fell out. The wrecking company also told us that the reserve tank was right underneath the cab, which is where we believe Alyssa was, that she was probably in the back of the cab. The cab, of course, was gone. It was only the railing left there at the wrecking company. Just to point out again that her blanket was still intact. That was the only real bit of physical evidence that we had that we could notice besides an Old Navy flip-flop. And my sister confirmed that that's what she was wearing, was Old Navy flip-flops. I'm just kind of walking the area now on the side, just looking to see if we see any more debris up ahead. But the whole thing, I mean, it don't seem right. It's like they don't want to admit that they made a mistake. It's like you say you're 100% sure that she wasn't in there. But yeah, the wrecking company even said when they got there that what took the worst of it was the end of the truck, the cab, the back of the truck. That's where he said was the worst of it. The worst of it where she would have been sitting. That's where the worst of it was. So how can you tell me 100% sure she wasn't in there? And nobody's yet to give me a straight answer. Who jumped into the cab? Who looked in a cab? Who physically, with their eyes, peeked in the back of that cab, burning, and to say that she wasn't back there? I've not had one person stand up and tell me this shit. I've asked over and over again. Explain to me who it was. Who was there? Who was the person that looked in the back? Who can tell me who was the person that looked in the back of this cab and can tell me 100% sure that my niece wasn't back there? So we pulled his geotags. Accomack County Police has been doing an awesome job with helping us out. They pulled his stops. He made no more stops. When it was confirmed that Alyssa was in this vehicle, there is no other stops. No other stops were reported. Her cell phone pinged not even an hour from where we're standing right now. We want to know what happened to her. We've been begging our local places to go ahead and report on this. Get this on TV.
What is that?
maybe some of the people on this live feed. So we've just found this out here. Could this be a piece to a cell phone? This is out here where the rest of the debris is? Or would that be a part of his dash cam? Just kind of flipping it over. This is out here in the debris. Not quite sure what this is. It don't actually look like a cell phone. Maybe it could be a part of the truck. I don't know if it's the inside of something. This is a little ways up from the actual wreckage. Hold on. I'm going to put you back. Go ahead. Say what you got to say. I got you on live. Yeah, so I mean, we're out here to the crash site. The crash site that these police officers told us, oh, they had a cadaver dogs out here. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. They had a cadaver dogs out here yesterday. I'm sure a lot of people know what cadaver dogs do. They had nothing of Alyssa's to smell, by the way. It wasn't nothing like they had her scent. They were searching for her scent. So they were searching for a dead body. Well, the truck was loaded with a bunch of dead chickens, and we do know the driver was deceased. So that made zero sense to me, but they said they had to rule that out. They had to rule out that there was a dead body out here when they, in fact, knew there was a dead body out here already. Made no sense whatsoever. But yet they said they had a team out here collecting evidence. I don't see how they had a team out here collecting evidence, and we're out here picking up chicken bones. We're out here looking at pieces of the truck. There are still piles of ashes out here. I'm sure most of my friends are about like me. You watch plenty of CSI, plenty of ID channel. There is a friggin' way that if any of her is left in this mess, that they could find it, that they could prove that she was in this accident. As days have gone on and on, they have wasted time. They have wasted time on us finding out. So just said, I said the company logs for more. So we are waiting on to hear back from Accomack County whether or not they got the company logs, but they did pull their geo tags. Anybody that's familiar with truck drivers, that they have tags on them to point out their location. So basically when they're going 0 miles an hour, they get pings. Well, there was no pings on this interstate after her cell phone ping. So he made no other stops. So no other stops remain. Well, we're just not getting any help. I mean, and we're just not getting any help. Nobody's helping us. So for an area that North Carolina has covered oh so well, here's part of his CB radio.
And look how far away it is from the site.
And it's right here to the site, but yet they comb the area. I'm just showing y'all again. So this is the overpass here. So we're on I-85, Durham, North Carolina. The overpass is still shut down. The top part, I'm sure y'all can see the difference. I'll kind of shine the difference. So, of course, the black part, that's where it caught on fire. So it's been over a week, and that's how bad the fire was. The fire was that bad that it burnt in his bridge to the point that they can't allow people to drive on this bridge, that this whole entire bridge has to be repaired.
Hitting the guardrail prior to hitting the actual overpass sounds to me that he either drugs, which no one has mentioned, right? We don't know if he did or didn't. Fell asleep because it was in the morning hours, early morning, overnight, right? Was drowsy and dozed off, and then dozed again. or wasn't asleep at all and was using a phone. Could have been using a phone and accidentally sideswiped the guardrail, and then a little ways up ended up the same thing happened again, but much worse. It's kind of what I'm hearing. It doesn't sound now that they're saying that he hit the guardrail up further, does not sound to me as though it was a purposeful hit, as in that he wanted to end to unalive. Now it kind of takes that away from me a bit because of him swiping the guardrail.
So the whole thing just isn't making sense. Nothing's making sense about it. Oh.
And I didn't even get it on.
So that's the area where we got the radio right there. So yeah, Mandy, yeah, we have Walt,
yep.
Sabrina and Krista will all taking turns.
Or what Neil just said, or there could have been a fight happening in the cab, in the truck, aka somebody could have grabbed the wheel, right? And he could have either been be distracted by it, could have been him hitting the person and then him swerving, could have been the person grabbing the wheel and yanking on it, right? But at this point there's no evidence of a body of a second person having been up in the front portion with him. You've got evidence of his dog, but you don't have evidence of another person being up there. So I don't really think.
So they have walked way down the road. So we are on a busy interstate here. There is a little bit of woods area right here. It's not like it's acres and acres long. It's just a little tiny woods area. You can actually walk completely through it.
Yes, the niece was with him only. The niece apparently is friends with him, I guess, and had text saying to her mother that she was going to be going for the ride with him for 2 days. And so they have the text message posted from the mother that she was going to be going with him for 2 days in the truck. And so, yeah, she was willingly with him. And supposedly he was a great guy. Like, everything that's been said about him has been that he's been was a great man, right? That he was, there's been nothing negative that's come out about him so far. Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that they want to see is they want to see the records. They're trying to bring up the Facebook records. The family is. They found out that she was texting somebody. She Facebook messaged somebody at 12 something at night, like a little after midnight, or around that time, that night on Facebook Messenger. And they are trying to get Facebook to release the message to them so that they can see it, or release her account. And so I had seen that as well. And they're trying to see who it was to who was she writing to at that time of night on Facebook, and what did she write, or was it a message that had come into her, right? But there was a message on Messenger at 12 something.
Oh, like I said, we're just digging through stuff out here. We're waiting on. Oh.
Way down here.
So pieces of probably what is was his bed, the actual mattress itself from the sleeper.
Yeah, so if you've got the sleeper and the bed chunks like that, you would have human, you know, human. I don't know. Huh.
You know, this is more debris. More debris. More. So, yeah, just walking so you can see. So what my understanding was that when he lost control of the car, or the tractor trailer. So when he basically lost control and he flipped, somehow, however he flipped, the cab part, the actual front part of the truck had flipped over. The back of the truck, which contains the chickens, detached from the trailer part. So that actually went down the road. Like, so that part with the chickens in it went down the road. And they said almost a mile is how far that kept going before eventually coming to a complete stop. So, of course, I know she wasn't back there for anybody who, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that's how far debris is. The debris is way, way down the road. But we have been told by Detective Mitchell Mann that they came out here. They went through this area. So we did save the little piece of the mattress stuff. So we're actually saving some different stuff that we are finding out here. It has not been confirmed yet, but they did say that a cell phone or a part of a cell phone was found. We have yet to confirm that with Sergeant Mitchell Mann, because of course he's watching a football game currently. So we're waiting to hear back from that. We're waiting on the fire crew, the first responders that came out here that night. We're waiting on them. I want to speak to the one that said they looked in the back of the cab. Told them I'm not leaving North Carolina until I speak to whoever gonna tell me they looked in North Carolina. So just walking, so that's a piece of the
Front guardrail.
Yep, some of the guardrail right here.
Look how far we are.
Yep, so you see how far down the road we are. So the guardrail, I'm not sure if that piece of tire was connected to the accident or not. Yeah.
What that is. I mean, stuff could weave in, impact, stuff could fly over there.
We'll go over there.
I want this shit right here, all this.
Yeah. So let's see. We're going down here to where there's like a brush area. So this is a brush area. So like I said, that they had told us. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me flip it around. They had told us that they went through the brush area. I'm just going to show y'all this brush area. I said it's not far from another piece of the truck over there. So, yep, this is the brush area right here to the accident. This area right through here, looks pushed down. The rest of that, look how far that is. Brush area. So who went through this brush area to make sure that there's not bits and pieces? I'm just going to kind of walk in here a little bit just to show y'all that there is pieces back here. Whether or not that they're actually connected to this accident, I'm not sure, to be honest. But there is pieces of metal and whatnot here. Right here in the center part, you can see a little, I don't know if y'all can actually see it. It is a little bit of a gap area right through there. That's what I just said. I don't know if that's a piece. That looks like a car. That might be I don't think that's been connected. But there's just no way. They had a crew out here as they informed us. Yeah, so we're doing our best to try to walk through what out areas we can. Yeah, so we're walking through. So like I said, this is the brush area. The brush area.
All the woods that apparently there's no wooded areas.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so this is all, like I said, this is all the brush area that we were told everything we got going through. So, I mean, you can look, nothing's pushed down up front here. I'm going to walk to the other side just to confirm nothing was actually going through on that side. Oh, so I don't know what that is there in the center. I don't know if y'all can actually see it, but it's pieces of metal back there. So not quite sure what that is, but there is pieces of metal.
Well,
so we have had them walking up and down. Sabrina and Krista both, they've walked a right good amount of distance. We are going to go down where the skid marks first started. We came here last night.
Skid marks started.
We came here last night and looked at the actual scene itself at nighttime just to kind of see what it looked like the night of the actual accident. We'll say before you get here, and I'm going to actually try to ride this area again at nighttime, and not me while I'm driving, of course, but get Sabrina or Krista to record the couple miles before this accident, because it just begs some concerns too to what exactly happened to Danny, because there's a few little turns. It's a well lit area that you actually have to go through. And I know there was different stories, and I'm not going to speak, on different stories that were said about what could have been going on with him at the time. So,
right? Like what?
Yeah, because some of this area, we're probably going to come back here in the morning with bring some gloves out here before we pick up some more of this evidence. I just want to show you that this is how far down that I walked, and I don't know if you can see it, it's charred, and it actually looks like foam, so more than likely a piece of the sleeper bed. That's a little ways down. So again, we're a ways away, and you can see that that's another piece of the charred guardrail. And I just want to kind of stress to everybody again that we were told by the local authorities here that everything that was cleaned up off the highway was immediately taken to the dump. So yes, we did contact the landfill, and they did inform us that there was no way to tell what exactly had came from here. So basically they came out here, they scraped this highway, and they took it to the dump. They said that they scooped up what was out here and they took it to the dump. So, and I will point out too, I've had two different stories that were told to me by two different people. So Sergeant Mitchell Mann told me they had small buckets out here picking up the dead chickens. So sure, there wasn't nothing else out here. But then the wrecking company told me today they had actually came out here with oh my goodness, one of the, and I'm sorry, my brain, I hadn't slept much a couple days. They actually came out here with the machinery that scooped stuff up. Somebody could help me out on the name of that. So they actually had a piece of equipment out here scooping it up. And actually, he told me that it was packets of chicken, as he told me. It was all packets of chicken they were scooping up out here on this highway. So I'm sorry. Burnt chicken, burnt human. How would you tell the difference? How would you physically tell the difference? If you're sitting above this, using a piece of equipment, how would you tell the difference? So the whole situation does not make any sense. Everything we're being told does not make any sense. I just kind of want to shout out the news and observer locally here in North Carolina. I have been speaking to.
Okay, so let me try to get out of this. Okay. And we might be able to go on to that one maybe. Sorry for the background noise. It's TV in the other room. Okay, we watched this one. This one wouldn't play, I don't think. I believe we watched this at the highway. There are, somebody says that they believe that this is a traffic camera on this picture here. And then someone said it is, however, it's live, so you can only pull live feed. It does not record. Oh, wow. That's awful. Oh, how terrible is that? You could have only watched it live right then, and that's it. If not, it's gone. That's terrible. This is the man that lost his life. That was the text here. There's probably music playing. We'll turn that off. Okay. Come back to the beginning. She was in that truck. Here's the gentleman that she was with. What are you doing? She said. Heading up the road. Okay. You getting me? Yeah, if you want to. Need an address, though. Gotta ask, though, do you just jump in with drivers? Coming up on you. Need to know where to go. And then it gives the address, the road, gives the address. First house on the left. Okay, I got a trailer on. Is it a place to turn around? Is that where I picked you up last time? And then she wrote, this one said, can you get me today? I'll be back in Oak Hill or Oak Hall. And it says, yeah, I'll be on, that road. Okay. Is that down where I picked you up last time? Yeah. What time can you come? So I know to be ready. Question mark, question mark. Are you okay? And then it says the road address. Is it where I picked you up last time? Yes. It has tractor trailer and yard. Okay. Almost there. Turning at the light now. Okay. You missed a call from Alyssa. And then it says you should really call Ben yourself. He will probably let you stay till I get back. Be back on 21 with a phone number. And then it says, I'm riding with Danny in tractor trailer for 2 days and I'll call and ask him. Okay. Love you even though you get on my damn nerves. Love you too. Did you get your clothes? And that was not delivered there, it says. Or wasn't viewed, right? There's a picture of the wreck. Straight on. While it was still underneath. That is so bad. Good grief. Her blanket. And that's that for that. And now we're back up at the top again. Let's re-find where we were. Right? I think that's where we were. That's what we looked at. These are some photos. Okay. Local newspapers are reporting. It's a TikTok video. Another, okay.
So we are actually out here to the Orange County Fire Department. I'm going to flip this around so everybody can see. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. I'll get a little bit closer for you. So we just went in and we spoke to one of the firefighters that is here. So we were told that the ones that work the scene are not off. They're off for 4 days apparently. Which I do know firefighters do work long hours. So we're still trying to get answers about what happened to Alyssa. We're still trying to talk to the person that claimed that they looked in that cab and she was not back there.
Hi, Crystal.
I will say that the local news stations are reporting here. They posted something in one of the News and Observer newspaper this morning. The Orange County local news station, they actually posted something here as well. So our next stop is the North Carolina Highway Patrol Center. We're going to go there, or the police department, I'm sorry. We're going to go there and see once again if anybody there will go ahead and speak to us and talk to us. We're walking the streets of Durham, North Carolina currently. We're handing out flyers. Just get her picture out there, just to keep her face out there. We're just hoping and praying that we get some more answers. I have yet to hear back from Sergeant Mitchell Mann. I emailed him this morning and let him know that we want the cadaver dogs to go to the landfill. And I just kind of want to bring up this morning about Danny's family hopping on the page and was being very disrespectful towards my niece. I have not been disrespectful to Danny's family. I would not be disrespectful to anybody that just lost a loved one. It was an issue about me posting Danny's picture on my Facebook page. First of all, that's my Facebook page, and I will post whatever I want to. If you don't like what's on my Facebook page, feel free not to look. So if children are looking on it, because that was the thing that a child looked at my Facebook page. Why is a child on my Facebook page? Get them off of there. They don't need to be on there. So she was very, very disrespectful. She said some very hurtful things about my niece, and she did cause us to all come out of our character and get in an argument with her on Facebook, and that's not what we're after. We're not after arguing with Danny's family. We want answers. We want to know what happened to Alyssa. So I don't see why we all can't band together to find out what exactly happened to Alyssa. Danny's family knows where Danny is. Danny's body was possibly identified. So they have closure. They know where Danny is. We do not know where Alyssa is. Only thing we're asking, where is Alyssa? All the evidence points to her being in the truck. Just to go back through everything, because we're getting so many questions. Please, please, please watch the videos that I'm posting if you have questions. So Alyssa texted Danny for Danny to pick her up. Danny noted he was turning down the road. He was picking her up. Alyssa texted my sister and told my sister that she was going on the road with Danny. Exmoor Police Department cited Danny for being parked illegally. Alyssa was caught on the cop's body cam. We got on there and listened to Alyssa's voice on the body cam. Alyssa's cell phone pinged an hour away from the crash. Danny was going 77 miles an hour. 77 miles an hour. He made no stops. We have his geotag. He made no stops. This is all the evidence that Accomack County has so far. Well, I shouldn't say so far, but this is all the evidence that Accomack County has. They have been doing a wonderful job. I will say that Accomack County has done everything they can.
Or that they've shared.
Assisting us in this. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have all the information that we need thus far to know that Alyssa was in that truck. Alyssa's blanket was found on the truck. We did go there yesterday, and we also found a flip-flop. Alyssa would have been laying in the back of the cab, probably asleep there at that time. On the side of the cab were two fuel tanks. So if you look at the videos on my Facebook page, there's actually a video that somebody had posted on TikTok. There was two explosions. Those two explosions were those two fuel tanks, both on the side of the cab. Two explosions. She was in the middle of a friggin' bomb, basically. So we are asking the fire department, the police department, tell us who looked in the cab. How did you look in a cab that is completely gone? If you look back on my pictures, I know a lot of people are saying peel the cab back. There's no cab left. What you are seeing on the pictures is the beginning part of the hood where the engine was. The engine was no longer up there. That was the mangled up seat and where the console and everything else was. There's no cab. The cab is gone. It's down to the metal beams. The cab is completely gone. If you look back on my video or some of my pictures I have actually posted, there's a picture of all the debris down with the chicken and all the debris from the truck. They went out at nighttime, pitch dark, and I have a video of that also posted on my Facebook page. Pitch dark. They went out there and scooped all that off the highway. They scooped it all off the highway at nighttime. So if my niece was in the middle of friggin' two diesel fuel tanks, and I'm sorry to be graphic on here, but she might not have been in one whole piece at that time. So how did they look out there in the pitch dark, scooping up piles and piles of chicken in the pitch dark and say that she went out there? You know what they did with all that? They took it to the landfill. So everything that was on that highway went to the landfill. We have been asking and begging for them to take the cadaver dogs to the landfill. We were told by North Carolina Highway Patrol, they searched the area. We went out there yesterday, myself, my sister, and my sister-in-law. as 3 females that went out there and we searched the area ourselves because there's still debris out there. A member of the South Carolina DOT, I guess it's like the VA DOT, the ones that work on the roads. A gentleman actually stopped and spoke to us yesterday. I'm not going to put his name out here because he was very nice. He actually got emotional and he was actually crying himself and said that it breaks his heart to think that they might have missed something out there, that they might have missed my niece laying out there on the side of the highway, being scooped up and taken to the landfill. We have contacted the FBI this morning. They took my name, they took the report. I explained to them we are getting no help from North Carolina. I have had several people saying they would come to North Carolina, that they would come down here and help, that they would come down here and help search, they would come down here and help fight with us. Well, if you're willing to do that, we're willing to have help. I do understand some people can't afford it. I can't afford it myself. But I'm here because I want my niece home. The lady was very nice, and she did speak to me and has been speaking to me the past couple of days, and she has definitely been a big help to the family as far as getting the word out there. The truth needs to come out that Alyssa was in that truck. Everybody just keep sharing the videos, just keep sharing the videos, just keep showing Alyssa's face, keep Alyssa's face out there as much as possible. Just keep praying. I know we're not holding, or we are holding out hope, but at the same time, all the proof points to her being in that truck. So I'm going to go ahead and end for now. Like I said, we're going to walk the streets up here. We're handing out these flyers. We're trying to keep everybody involved. I will update here in a little bit. Like I said, we are going to the police department today to see if anybody's going to be willing to talk to us today, since we've been here for 3 days and they haven't. But that's all for now.
Okay, this one says, I've emailed the governor of North Carolina begging him for help since the police department is not helping us at all. If anyone and everyone could please email the governor, Roy Cooper of North Carolina, it would be greatly appreciated. North Carolina State Highway Patrol, State Police Department do not want to spend the money on helping us find Alyssa. Government is commander-in-chief of the military force of the state, governor, yada, yada, yada. Is that 85? No. This is more of the news and articles that she was on. So I could show you more of those, which I have right here for you. I want to show you this one here that they were on. Let me take you off that. I'm going to drop you guys her page. That way you guys can stay following her. I'll drop that right now while I play this. That way you guys can stay following everything that she puts out. Any updates, if you guys want to continue to follow it, you can follow anything that she puts out.
So my name is Lori Taylor. I'm from the Eastern Shore of Virginia. I'm here in Hillsborough, North Carolina. We're here looking for my niece, Alyssa Nicole Taylor. She was last seen with a truck driver that was in an accident on I-85 on September the 14th. Alyssa's cell phone pinged at 12:39, a little close to an hour away from the crash site. The truck's geotag stated that he was going 77 miles an hour on Interstate I-85. There were no stops recorded. Alyssa's blanket was found on the wreckage, as well as a flip-flop. We definitely want the public to help us, to reach out, to keep sharing our story, keep Alyssa's name out there. We know that she was in this crash. We want to prove that she was in this crash. We cannot mourn Alyssa until we know 100% sure that she was there. The cab was completely destroyed. We went to the wreckage site and there was only 2 pieces of metal beams that were left on the wreckage site. On both sides of the cab were 2 of the diesel fuel tanks. There was 2 explosions that happened tonight. We strongly believe that when those 2 fuel tanks exploded, that Alyssa was in the middle of those 2 fuel tanks. She was there in the cab, probably asleep that time of the night.
I'm a mother and I just want closure. I just want to bring my baby home and so we can at least have a candlelight or something. That's all I have to say.
This is Alyssa. She has two beautiful little boys. She was 25 years old. Please help us find her.
Right. Okay. And so that one was the News and Observer.
Washington Examiner launched.
Oh, we're clicking all kinds of stuff now, guys. I don't know where I am. It just took me away from you. Hold up. Hold on. I gotta refresh that. Let's fix that. What is it doing? What do we got going on? Well, now it's trying to say in order to click on the News and Observer that I gotta pay, but we just watched the one. So now I don't know where that. I'm not gonna be able to find that link. Well, that's something I'm gonna have to deal with after, right? Oh, I found it. Yeah, it's trying to make me pay. That's so weird. I was just on it. Maybe you get like one free thing on it or something. I don't know. Anyway, I want to take you guys to this one. This one here talks about. It looks like it's got a video attached to it as well, but says Highway Patrol missing Virginia woman was not in truck that crashed, burned on I-85. Although the family of missing woman has said that they believe she was killed in a tractor trailer fire on Interstate 85, a spokesman for North Carolina State Highway Patrol told WRAL News, which this is what that we're reading from, that after, quote, exhaustive efforts to look over the crash scene and truck, no evidence has been found to support that claim. Here's possible video. And it goes on to say, although the family of the missing woman has said that they believe she was killed in a tractor-trailer fire on Interstate 85, a spokesman for North Carolina Highway Patrol told WRAL News that after exhaustive efforts to look over the crash scene and truck, no evidence has been found to support that claim. Alyssa Nicole Taylor, 25, was reported missing to the Accomack County Sheriff Office on September 20th. Her family told deputies they last heard from her on September 13th when she told her mother that she would be traveling with Daniel Eugene McNeil, 51, of Exmoor, Virginia. September 14th, the tractor trailer carrying chicken parts crashed and burned in southbound lanes of I-85, closing the highway for hours in Orange County. After that fire, family and friends posted to social media their theory that Taylor had been in the truck, but the North Carolina State Highway Patrol found only the remains of the driver, who is McNeil, and his dog, the spokesman said. Here is another image. Look at that. I don't know if that's... Now that looks like it, right? Terrible, 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 terrible. Wow. Huh. Awful. Just awful. That's the end of that. Let's come up to the video.
Watch this to avoid sagging skin.
Think the beauty industry is your friend?
Oh, that's a long advertisement.
Think again. The beauty industry tries to keep.
Carolina Highway Patrol says there is no evidence a missing woman was part of a fiery truck crash on I-85 in Orange County earlier this month. A tractor trailer burst into flames on September 14th when it slammed into a guardrail and bridge on I-85 at Highway 86 in Hillsborough. Investigators.
There's them scooping it up, right? So that was them going through. Does that look like, I mean, you got this young kid here that looks like he's looking, he doesn't got gloves, it doesn't appear he's got gloves on or anything, right? Or any, those little sticks that you rummage through and you can pull the lever and pick up stuff, right? They use it to pick up trash off the ground and then they throw it into their dustpan, or whatever. He doesn't got any tool like that. It doesn't look like he's kind of pushing stuff around and sorting through things. I don't know. And then you got the guy in the truck that's just taking big scoops. That's what I mean, from this clip, this is the first clip I'm seeing of it, but that's not a good look.
Say the driver, Daniel McNeil,
Let's look at that again real quick.
at Highway 86 in
It's not a good
Hillsborough.
look.
Investigators say the driver, Daniel McNeil of Virginia, and his dog were killed in that crash. The family
Hey, honey
of
badger.
25-year-old Alyssa Taylor of Oak Hill, Virginia, posted on social media that they believe she was riding with McNeil at some point. Taylor, a mother of two, has been reported missing. However, Sergeant Chris Knox of the Highway Patrol, Carolina Highway Patrol, tells us after exhaustive efforts to search the wreckage, investigators only found remains of the driver and his dog. Virginia authorities continue to search for Taylor.
Huh. Yeah. I don't know, you guys. Right? Was she ejected and didn't even end up in the fire? She's out in the grassy area. I mean, that would be how you wouldn't find her remains there, but they have a GoFundMe set up. It says, "Hi, my name is Sabrina Taylor, and I'm raising money to assist in our efforts to find my niece, Alyssa Taylor, who is missing. Alyssa was last seen leaving with Danny McNeil from Exmoor, Virginia, in his Mack truck heading to North Carolina September 13th, 2022. September 14th, 2022, the truck ran off the road, striking a guardrail, crashing into an overpass, catching fire, and exploding. With little to no cab left, we have thus far just found her blanket and one flip-flop among the wreckage. We are in North Carolina trying to find answers and Krista Taylor's baby girl so that we can bring her home. We greatly appreciate any help that can be given so we can continue to search. Thank you for your support." And the organizer is Sabrina Taylor. It also has, it's a fundraising team. There's also the team members then are Lori Taylor and Krista Taylor. And then it shows like who to contact and who raised what, right? So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to leave this in the comment section if anybody would be interested or if you just want to take a look at it. And then everything that I just went through, everything I'm going to put in the description of the video. So every single site that I was just on will be in there. And so if you didn't happen to grab, sorry about that. If you didn't happen to grab the site, the page of her family member, Shelly, there's also Sabrina, which was the first one that I went on. Sabrina hasn't put as much out anymore. Like I said, the last thing that she had put was the 25th, and that was about putting out the picture of Danny's family member, right, with Danny. But Sabrina hasn't put anything since then. But Sabrina's Facebook is going to be in my description section as well. So you'll have Sabrina's Facebook in there. You'll have Shelly's Facebook in there. And from there, if there's any other family member that you want to find, right? Who is the other one that I just mentioned from GoFundMe? The mom, right? Krista Taylor. Yeah. So let me see. Actually, family. Whoop. Let's look up Krista. Yeah, I saw yeah, I think it's really important like to show the family's video because they obviously want this out. They want people to see this. They want any assistance they could possibly get. Um Here is Krista Taylor's page. Yeah, Krista Taylor has a lot as well put out. Here, let me bring you guys over. Right? You could see some photos of Alyssa as an adult, as she's older, right? And then there's other pictures that she just added a couple hours ago that look like maybe when she was younger. But here are some other pictures of her, right? As she's older. And remember, Alyssa's a mom of 2. Like, how sad, right? No matter what the reason, which is strange that we can't figure this out, like, what the heck? Um, she's still a mom. She's still got 2 little ones now that don't know what in the world is going on, and now they don't have their mom. How sad. Okay. So probably take us back to the top because it likes to do that. Here's a video about 2 minutes.
Update everybody this morning. I do know that I look awful this morning. We haven't rested, and we're actually
This was 7
none of
hours
us
ago.
are really feeling good. I think the whole situation is just kind of making us all sick. But we did just speak to somebody at the landfill where we have confirmed that the debris went that night. So they're out there searching with cadaver dogs as we speak. So I'm going to make this kind of short. I just want everybody that's praying for my family, just continue to keep praying, pray that they find something out there today, that we can get closure, that we can come home, that we can come home and see our families because we all miss our families. So just pray that they find something out there today. So everybody pushing the media, pushing them that they're out there. They're out there searching. They're out there searching now. So yeah, just pray. Just pray that they find something. Like I said, just pray that they find something out there today. But it just shows that, that they're listening, that they believe us, that everything we're putting out here is nothing is made up. It's all the evidence that Accomack County has found, that proved that she was in that vehicle. So they're finally listening to us. They're finally going to they finally got somebody out there. So the information we got yesterday about 100 acres is a little bit over 100 acres, but the director of the landfill said they keep records. They keep thorough records of where everything goes. It said they've narrowed it down to a smaller portion. So they're out there searching. So as soon as we would find out anything, I would definitely update everybody. But again, I just wanted to put it out there so we could just have prayers that today that they find something out there.
Okay. So there's that, right? There's that. They did end up getting them out to the landfill. Hey, Blue Gypsy Doll, how are you? Hi. Nice to see you. If she was in the back, before I read that, I'm gonna lose my train of thought. They did end up getting them out to the landfill with a cadaver dog. That happened today. That video that we just watched was 7 hours ago. And I don't know about y'all, I'm in the East Coast, Eastern time zone, and it's dark here. Like it's dark. So, um, I don't know. I don't know how many days worth of search they're going to need for it, right? I don't know. If it wasn't found in the wreckage, she was not there. Bodies just do not disappear unless the alley are really covering it up. I mean, they found the dog, they would find her body. With all of her items in there without any other evidence pointing to something different. I believe 100% she was in there. Police should do some investigating if they want to prove she wasn't. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Just finish up the investigation, right? Finish it up. If you didn't do a thorough investigation because it was nighttime and we just saw that footage where there was a young kid standing there not sorting through anything and a truck just scooping it up by massive amounts and dumping it into the dump truck. That wasn't going through it, right? You weren't really going through it. So unfortunately, you kind of gotta go to where you put it, and you gotta go through it. So yeah, I say finish up the investigation. They need to hope that they hook that live feature recorder. Oh my gosh, yeah, they do. Yeah, for sure. They do, because that's terrible that that's only a live stream and doesn't record anything at all. It should do some recording too. I can understand the family in their desperation, that they cling to the straw because the alternative is just terrible. Right, exactly. They definitely need to investigate, but start treating it like a crime, possibly. Yeah, right. What's in a CCTV video? I don't know that they're wait, CCTV video. The only ones that they've talked about so far is just the fact that they've seen only him get in and out of the truck. They talked about that. If she was in the back sleeper, he was in the front along with the dog. The accident may have ejected him and the dog, whereas her body remains in the wreckage and would have essentially cremated. Ugh, right? Ugh. Um, Good distance on a head-on. Yeah, that's the only thing why I don't know that she would be ejected is if she was in the back in the sleeper area, she wouldn't have been the one to have been ejected without first him and the dog being ejected when they're the ones in the front. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my thought. It would not have cremated. The fire was not hot enough. Condolence to the family. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Condolence to the family no matter what, because this is just terrible. It's absolutely terrible. Like, where is she? Where is she? Like, no matter what, their family member is absolutely missing. I don't want to share. I don't know if this is our pictures of other things or if these are pictures. Me and my girl, we have a lot of memories. Okay, so I'm assuming these are pictures of Alyssa. Alyssa's got a lot of looks. Alyssa has a lot of different looks, so I could I could tell Alyssa when she does her wing eyeliner, right? I can detect her a lot easier than when she's not. That's crazy that that's mother and daughter, right? They look like they could be sisters. Her mom looks great. Right? Tell me they don't look like they could be sisters. It's insane. I don't want to keep it on a bathing suit picture. Hmm. So sad. I want to come back over to you guys because I was behind in comments. Has anyone ever watched Live PD? Yes. Many of these small towns, with a lot of these. Yeah. Yep. Ugh. They said it got to 3,000, but that's also coming from the family. They said the temperatures reached 3,000. I don't know. That came from the family. I don't know where they got the number from though. Other videos saying that they found her naked. What? They found her naked by the wreck. I have not seen that report. How are they sure that she was in the sleeper and not, and hey, how are you? And not in the passenger seat? Exactly. They don't know that. They don't know that. Family is assuming because of the time of night that it was, that she, and the fact that she wasn't found in the passenger seat, they are assuming that she was back in the sleeper, back sleeping. Zero faith in LE procedure and process if they don't care and want to close cases. Yeah, I can't disagree. I can't disagree. I have some experience with this. Seen bodies and fires and wrecks. Very bad bodies, almost always easily found and observed by multiple people. Hey, I caught up. Look at me. And with Neil, I have background experience with this too. Little faith in LE too, but from knowing what goes on in wreck, there would have been multiple people to see bodies. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. It's so it right? Her phone pinged an hour away, and he was going 77 miles per hour. And where her phone pinged did match the same location that the truck location ping came from as well. Same location. So you know, after they finish investigating this properly, right? Because it seems that they did a sloppy job. They didn't know, right? If they didn't see her body in the passenger seat, or in the sleeper, and they didn't see, they didn't actively see it, they didn't know that they needed to be looking for a second person. So therefore, they just figured chickens and debris and scoop it up and be done with it. They didn't know, okay? But now that they do know, it is, I think, right of them that they are out at the landfill and going through it and have a cadaver dog out there. I think that that's right by them to do that. I do. I think that that's right. To do a proper, thorough, know that that's, you can definitively say, no, she was not, she is not, and that's, you got to look for an answer elsewhere, some other way, right? She was not in that vehicle. She wasn't in the wreck. The only way that you can say that for sure is for them to do this, to go to this landfill, right? We can say that it wouldn't make sense, or that this wouldn't happen, or that wouldn't happen, and blah, 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 but to definitively, for a police to actually say that, they need to do the investigative steps properly, and this is doing that. So I think it's right that they're doing that. That's good. That's really good. But correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't a truck on fire versus a truck exploding to and on fire results be different? You would think, right? You would think. Yeah, you would think. That supposedly there were 2 explosions, whether that's because anybody knows, saw, watched there be 2, or if family is assuming that there would be 2 explosions because there were 2 tanks. You know what I'm saying, right? Did they assume that there would be 2 explosions because of the 2 tanks, or did somebody see that? I'm not ruling out he did something previously to her and only he was there, but so far nothing shows that, only her property in the wreckage. Errands. I'm going off. They found 1 human body and a dog in the cab. No ejection. Yeah, I don't think that I don't think anybody got ejected. Like, because if anybody would have been, it would. I mean, unless she was in the passenger seat, and she did get ejected, right? And she wasn't back in the sleeper. But if she was back in the sleeper, well, it makes sense that the people in the front would have been ejected first. However, he could have had a seatbelt on. She could have been in the passenger seat without a seatbelt on and been ejected. But I mean, we don't even know where she would have been located. She could have been ejected. It's certainly for Ali to not treat it as a crime scene was a mess. Right, right. And which is kind of crazy because I was just looking up something for NY the other night, the last night actually, and it was about the difference between a death investigation and a homicide investigation, right? And every scene, every investigation. They're all treated, right? Every death investigation. Hang on, let me see how buried it is. Let me see really quickly. Hopefully it's pretty quickly found. Okay. Nah, that's not it. Hold up. Okay. General rule of thumb is death investigation is that all death investigations are handled as homicide until proven otherwise. Right? So it should have been handled as a homicide, right? That there is a potential, in this it's a car accident, right? So it's a bit different. It's going to be viewed differently than this situation I was looking up yesterday. But what I'm saying is that it wasn't there's the type of accident that it was. You can't just assume because you found only one body and a dog that there wasn't any other passengers. You get what I'm saying? Like, you still need to thoroughly check that there wasn't any other passenger or anybody in any other part of the truck. It's so you still needed to do that thorough investigation, right? Like, they didn't need to know the information that she was with them to should have been doing that investigation all along. That's the same as a car getting in a car accident. You don't know how many people were in that vehicle when you had that car accident, but that was weird. Oh, a cat pushed my door open. I was like, what the heck? Figured that out when I went to push it shut and there was a kitty in there. But yeah, so I don't know if that made any sense. I probably just like completely made no sense what I was just trying to explain. But if there's a car accident, you have no idea when they come to the scene how many people were in that wreck, right? They don't know that information. They're not privy to that information. So you need to be doing the investigation straight up from the get-go to find all of the victims that could have been involved in that wreck, right? Say that they all are deceased and there isn't anybody to be able to say, yes, I had this many passengers in my car. Or, yes, there were this many of us. There was a driver, myself, and 2 others in the back, right? They would have to investigate that. So clearly the driver didn't make it. You should have been looking into that to begin with, right? They messed up, but telling you bodies stand out in scenes like this. Yeah. Yeah. I would think that the wreckage would be much different with explosion versus just fire. Yeah, that's that's very much the thing that would an explosion have separated the metal? Not just I mean, obviously it did to some extent, right? There's pieces of metal that are flung over into the grass, over into over in the embankment area, over up on the hill and stuff. So I guess there kind of was an explosion to an extent, right? I guess we could go with that. Yeah. I think we're back to the beginning now. Yeah, we are. We're back to the beginning. But let me see. Did they comment that anything got found out today? Keeping y'all in my prayers. Prayers. So there's no new news on anything found today. I'll check once more and see if there's anything in the news about her. There is not. I'm going to keep you guys updated on this. I have it on my community wall as well, but I'm definitely going to update you guys if I find out anything, right, about this search that they do in the landfill, right? If they end up finding her, if they come back and say that there is no trace of her, no the dog did not hit on anything at all. And then at that point, I mean, kind of starting at the square one of the looking at where the phone last pinged, right? Anywhere from there to where the wreck happened. You better start checking the places that he stopped. Either way, we know more than likely Alyssa is no longer with us. Right. Yeah, probably. On the Collier family. Yeah, Neil, I did a video on her yesterday. And then there is stuff on her today. Why am I doing this like that? I don't know. Yeah, there's stuff on her today as well, about an unfired round found near the scene. So that's new. That is new. I could always maybe come on and do a quick video about that. However, I have a stream at 10 o'clock over on Sleuth Mom's channel. Here, I can give I think I have it. I can drop it right quick here. All right, let me drop it. This is the link. This will be where I'll be at 10 o'clock. We're going to be talking about Suzanne Morphew and Echo Lloyd case. So what we have transitioned into now is we're going to be talking about cases, typically like Echo, cases that aren't typically talked about a lot by many people at all, and they've been missing for a period of time, need more coverage, kind of cases, right? They're actively is still missing. They're not newly missing, but we're going to start talking on some of them. And so this week we are at Sleuth Moms at 10 o'clock. Next week we are going to be on my channel talking about Dulce. We talked about Dulce before, back a ways. We had Sporty on with me, Sporty from Twitter. She came on and we talked about Dulce. It was a fantastic stream. It was really great. But we're going to be talking next week about Dulce. So this week it is going to be 10 o'clock over on Sleuth Mom's channel. And it's going to be myself and Savage says, look at my life. I'm not sure. I actually saw a message, something about her today, so I'm not really positive. I actually really need to check that because now I'm uncertain about this whole situation. All right, now I'm uncertain about it. But yeah, so look at my life, lighting the way home for the vanished, Savage says, right? So yeah, it'll be us tonight, and I gotta do that. But maybe following that, maybe I pop on and cover the unfired round. Maybe. If not, I will cover it tomorrow. How's that sound? Sound like a plan? We can at least do it tomorrow. Come back over to you guys. Sorry. You know, at 77 mile an hour, at that weight, hitting concrete, crazy bad damage. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, keep this family in your thoughts, and in your prayers, and right, because they're still missing their family, and they're still missing their family member, right, and don't know where she is, and so let's hope that they get some answers. And this is other level. Yeah, they're stuck in that limbo spot right now, and it's like devastating to know that she could have been in this horrific wreck, but it's devastating to know, like, if she wasn't in this wreck, then what happened to her then? And how will we know? And how would you get justice? And how would you, like, ugh, awful. I could not imagine being in this position. My heart goes out to her family. It really, truly does. But I'll keep you guys posted on it and updated. And like I said, if you guys ever want to pop in and see updates and see what's going on with them, the links to their pages, I'm gonna have it in the description. So if it ever crossed your mind, you want to check it out, pop on, check the description area, and you can check it out and see if there's anything that they've put. But I'll be putting it in my community post, any if there's any significant update, right, about, like, yes, they did find her at the landfill, or they checked the landfill and it was no go and it's got to be shifted to another direction, right? But yeah, I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for coming and hearing what's going on with Alyssa's story, and what her family's going through right now. But I will see you guys hopefully tonight over at Sleuth Moms, and if not, I will see you guys definitely tomorrow. That's for sure. But I hope that you all have an awesome night. Thank you again. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.